Welcome, everybody, to the inaugural After Hours podcast. I am Mr. J. Gilbert. I have Schmitty32 here, my lovely, beautiful co-host that is going to bring in the comedy relief, or comedic relief, right? But, Schmitty, I'm going to give you the floor first, man. Tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Welcome on in, people. Schmitty32, variety charity streamer, currently playing a lot of New World, doing hard carries with, this guy over here. Yes. I'm a healer, kind of a big deal. Gray Bush, video games, great times.
Perfect. I'm Mr. J. Gilbert. I'm a teacher by day, streamer by night, and I just love getting hard carried in games. You know,
I
it's
just
like,
thought you were going to say you love getting hard, but,
I mean, why not?
let's
Here's the thing.
just go with
Why
that.
why would I put in the extra effort when somebody else can do it for me, but I can just reap the rewards from it?
Exactly. That's what hookers are for.
Amen to that. You know?
PG-13 podcast chat.
It's that's why
Earmuffs.
it's called the after hours. Like, if you're
Yeah,
watching this,
right?
if you're watching this underage, you should be in bed by now.
100%. Way past your bedtime. Go to bed, little one. We have things to talk about, things to discuss.
Speaking of which, first topic that we're kind of segment, right, is what's on your mind. So what's on your mind, Schmitty?
Lately, as we talked about earlier, I am all getting excited about the cow level adventures going on right now. We're getting ever closer to figuring out the secret cow level in Diablo 4. Pretty much all Diablos, I think since Diablo 2 have had them. But that's where it's just like I'm getting hyped about this. I'm getting excited. I want to know. I want to squeeze some teats.
Dang right. For me, kind of staying on cause I'm all about sports. I love my sports, and I'm not a huge like baseball fan, like following baseball, but I lived in Arizona for almost 8 years, and the Diamondbacks are currently beating the Philadelphia Phillies. And this is
Flyers. Wait, is this baseball? Are we talking? What season is this? What's sport?
Right, I think about it for a second. I'm like,
crap. If it's not football, it's crap.
but this is Game 7, so winner goes to the World Series, and they're
World Series is that
they're
soccer?
currently winning. I think so. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Perfect. Sports.
So that's what's on my mind right now. I keep checking my phone to kind of get a score update to see how the Diamondbacks are doing.
Dead game.
Right.
I kept striking out in T-ball in elementary. I learned a long time ago. That's just hand-eye coordination shit. Just ain't for me.
I mean, that's impressive. Striking out at T-ball.
Dude, it's
impressive.
Skill. It is a fucking skill.
If only there was video proof of that, I would want to see it.
Oh God, thank God my childhood is not rooted in like social media and cameras everywhere. Oh man,
yeah,
I'd be in prison.
Not like kids these days. It's literally a phone or screen in front of everybody's face.
Yeah, but at least we weren't dumb enough to eat Tide Pods, so you know.
Or were we?
I was just dumb enough to play around with M80s and gasoline, you know. Worse there, you're just gonna lose a hand or something, dude, and that fucking rots your stomach and asshole out.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Schmitty, all right, here we go, man. Our discussion topics of the evening. Do you want to start with sports or video games?
We can start with sports.
All right.
Or video games. I mean, whatever.
No.
I'm in the After Hours podcast, brah.
I knew this was coming because our first topic for our sports recap of the NFL Week 7, that Dolphins-Eagles game. Now, here's the thing. I have a couple stats to throw at you, and then I have a question to kind of go over with you. So the high-powered Dolphins team, right?
Okay.
One of the most high-powered teams in the thing. They were only held to 17 points and under 250 yards of offense. What happened? Like, what happened? Like, how is it? So did the Dolphins get exposed, or is Philadelphia just starting to click?
Defense, the defense has always been there. We've had a strong defense pretty much all season with the Jets. I don't know what, but I kind of blame the offense. 3 interceptions by Jalen Hurts definitely did not help, and I think 2 of those in the fourth quarter did not help. But no, the Eagles defense, I feel like they have all the weapons. Just they are that tough. I mean, look at. I just got to watch some highlights. I was at work yesterday, so I watched like a quick 10-minute highlight video. But it was like just all the defensive ends were all over the receivers, and it was so hard for them to find any room against the Philadelphia defense, and that has always been our carrier for, I mean, really the last couple of years. I'd say more than offense. We've been kind of known for our defense, and our defense has kept them in the game for a really long time. And I think our defensive coordinator has been there. He was God, I'm trying to remember the exact name. I did not do any research for tonight. But no, man, it's basically been the same, like kind of two people or like one person and their protege for the last about 10, 11 years. And it's just, they really got that on lockdown. I give credit to all the coordinators, the coaches, and they've really been able to, as we all know, on the offseason, they've been able to go out and scout talent.
Yeah.
They've been able to get some big names.
Speaking of talent, and this brings me to another topic about the game, that cheating, I'm going to call him cheating, of a wide receiver, A.J. Brown.
Yeah,
100 and,
I agree 100%.
137 yards receiving and a touchdown. Is he, like, how do you guard him? Like, how does any team stop A.J. Brown?
Do better. Be good.
Oh, man. He's just
it's that easy. It's that easy, dude. Just like do that.
He's just so big, though. Like, he's a huge receiver.
Excuses are the nails that built the house of failure. Okay, my friend. You know.
Oh my
just do better. But
last topic I got for you about that game. Last question for you. I don't know, because you just saw the highlights. I don't know if you may have read or heard or whatnot. Jalen Hurts actually came out in the second half in like a leg brace.
The knee brace.
Yeah. Like, is that a concern or is that a precaution?
I mean, giving Philadelphia's history with quarterbacks, it is absolutely always a concern.
Mm-hmm.
I can just go by what I've been reading so far, is that Jalen Hurts has been quoted several times by saying, like, we're good. It's like, that little guy, don't worry about that little guy.
Don't worry about that little
guy. Don't worry about that little guy. But I as much as he likes to take off and run, and is such a physical quarterback, I will always worry. I see him take off running, dude, and it's like, like, oh God, this is it. Carson Wentz all over again. He's gonna have one great season and turn into dog shit.
Yep.
So the defense, man, our defense I'm so proud of this season. Offense, it's really looked like shit in my honest opinion. We have not been able to really click things together like I would have hoped. We did look a hell of a lot better against the Dolphins than the Jets. So whatever they did, whatever was going on, maybe they were getting handies on the sideline, I don't know. But things worked a lot better.
Well, I know you've probably been waiting all night to ask me your question about the next game.
New World?
No, the next sports game, the sports topic.
Am I excited about that one? Oh, the Swiftie?
No, the Niners one, dude. I thought you just wanted to like revel in it. I was actually giving you the opportunity.
It's been such a day. I was at the in-laws earlier today, so I actually it might have been when I got. Anyway, I did watch a quick highlight on that, and wow. At least you guys still have a quarterback, dude.
So in case you guys are wondering,
you guys aren't made of glass.
We're talking about the Niners-Vikings game. I'm a big-time Niners fan. Schmitty's a big-time Eagles fan. So we'll kind of be talking about those teams throughout the podcast and throughout the weeks. And so this Niners game was the first time the Niners have lost the turnover battle in a game. We had like 3 turnovers. I think they only had 2. So we lost that. Obviously lost. Here's the thing with that. Vikings had over 450 yards of offense. And Kirk Cousins had like 360 of it himself throwing. Right. We could not stop him. Kirk Cousins was on fire.
Agreed. Now I was going to kind of reciprocate what you talked to me earlier about. Was Minnesota looking that good? Or were the Niners just kind of having an off night? Because honestly, in my opinion, I think the Niners were just kind of having an off night.
So I don't know what has happened, but obviously we lost the last 2 weeks, but our defense has not been looking high powered like it was the first 5 weeks. So I don't know if that's play calling. I don't know if now teams have gotten enough tape on us that they're scheming against us. Like, I don't know what it is, but like these last 5 weeks, our defense has been absolutely terrible. We can't stop anybody. And like we had 0 sacks against the Vikings last night. 0.
Yeah, it was.
And it's like, so I don't know if we just have enough tape now that teams are like scheming against us. They kind of know how to get in between our defensive like lineups, but we just have not been looking strong at all.
Yeah, maybe I'll go send them a box of Wheaties. Maybe they'll play better.
Right. Hey, you mentioned it earlier though. What's your take on this Travis Kelce Taylor Swift debacle?
I want to stop hearing about it. I really just honestly at the end of the day I do not give two shits. Sometimes Dog Bob is like talking about all the like latest Kelsey and Swifty, and I'm like, first of all, you're talking about the wrong Kelsey. I could really give a shit less about Travis. It's all Jason, baby. Jason's my boy.
Right.
But I mean, I honestly I forget what Taylor Swift song I thought was a Taylor Swift song the other day, but it turned out I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know a Taylor Swift song. Not my thing. I'm not a Swiftie. But I don't really get caught up on like the, oh my god, they're dating and like they were in public holding hands. Like who gives a fucking shit, dude? I just want to lay down some heel rings and fucking do some expeditions.
It's like dude. People are allowed to date. Who cares?
This is or you know I'm really interested in the theoretics of consciousness. You know, it's a great time. I'd rather talk about that stuff.
That's probably going to be a topic one of these podcasts.
You know? Oh, dude, I'm going to give you all an existential crisis one of these days. It's going to happen.
Last topic.
If you guys ever see me in public, you know, squatting in a corner, sweating, in the fetal position, just leave me alone. I'm working through some shit. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, the last topic I talk about sports. Have you been following the Bills this season?
Not really, no.
Dude, they started off super hot. Like the Patriots, who are like literally one of the worst teams in the NFL right now, like not spanked them,
so happy.
But just made the Bills look absolutely horrible. So I'm like, again, I don't know if you know much about the game or following those teams, but like the beginning of the season, the Bills were favored to like go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, all I know, and I think
now they're sucking.
So I think over the last 2-3 years, they've really been starting to build the team up when they haven't done shit in 15 years. I just think of back in the 90s with the Buffalo Bills. I hear Bills and I think Thurman Thomas, dude. like fucking Thurman Thomas, baby.
Yep. All right, man. Let's get some video games.
Oh, video games, my favorite.
Let's get to the good stuff. We're gonna start off because the New World topic. We both can go for hours on that one. But
I think you saw that chat.
I didn't. What'd you do? You're on camera. You're recorded. You know
you're
this,
a teacher, and this is on a VOD.
All right, so I'm gonna turn it over to your expertise for this next topic.
Okay.
Because you are the Diablo 4 sweat.
Bring it, Mac Daddy.
Okay. I have a few topics for you, and you kind of go over the kind of Diablo release now, right? So season 2 just dropped. Okay. And the whole theme around season 2 is like the vampiric powers and that kind of like whatever's going on. Are those powers like OP? Are they underwhelming? Does it matter if you never even use them? Like how has season 2 been so far?
You know, I think if we're being completely honest, you could, whether you use the seasonal mechanics or not, you could always create a build without them. Now, how far you can get in the game without it, I mean, I think you could beat it, but to do the true end game content and really kind of, because I feel like you play those games because you want to at some point be OP, you want to be a god, and you'll be able to play it and do it. But if you want the satisfaction of being able to go in there and just nuke some shit, I don't think you'll really feel that way without those.
Sure.
And the mechanics that they did add to Season of Blood are way better than the Season of the Malignant. You know, the big question a lot of people have had lately, like Diablo 4, okay, is it good now? Is it good? My answer is but we're heading in the right direction. This was actually a really good step in the right direction. Once I actually get a chance to get into the end game grind a little bit and kind of see how these uber unique stuff go, then I'll really be able to be like, you know, how I really feel about the season. But can you do it without the vampiric powers? Of course. Will it be a less enjoyable experience? Of course.
Sure. So this is kind of like a part A, part B like question, because I feel like they kind of both go together. One of the biggest gripes or the biggest concerns with Diablo 4 has been that like in-game like looper grind. You know, like the end game of Diablo.
Yeah.
Is it good now? Has there been any changes with it? Is it still bad?
So with the Season of the Two Blood drop, they did add 5 new endgame bosses to World Tier 4.
Hmm.
So as far as endgame content goes, there is like 600% more to do,
Sure.
which is great. And again, until I get in there and get into the nitty gritty, I kind of have to take kind of people like Rax, Darth microtransactions, DM Diablo 4, Asmongold,
Hmm.
um, the people who have really grinded to a level 100 and done that. But there's a lot more to do. I can tell from personal experience that end game grind on season 1 between level 60 and I think I got up to 93. Brutal,
Yeah.
slow. You just grind nightmare dungeon after nightmare dungeon. The crowd control affixes were just ridiculous, and you could barely do end game content, particularly with the Sork, which was my main. With the resistance system broken, it's like,
Sure.
I feel like we're getting to the point where the game is actually where it should have been on release. It's like, how can you release a game and enjoy it when the resistance systems, when some basic mechanics to the game's like don't even fucking work?
I can't remember the video that I watched. There's a YouTube video. I know you're the king at watching videos,
Oh,
but
100%.
there's a YouTuber who does. He always wears like a blue hoodie that's always up all
Yeah.
the time.
Rax
Is that who it
Anthrax.
is? Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's Rax.
I was watching a video from him the other day,
He's fucking
and
great, dude. Rax,
he
if you
w-
ever watch this, I fucking love you.
he was telling me that like as it stands right now, once you kind of get to like in game, once you kind of get to like your characters like
Right.
super built up, that in game's actually like easy. Like you can like one shot, you can clear things super quick. Like, have you experienced the end game being like easy once you're high level?
Again, my highest level was a 93, and I was getting to the point, I think, what did Nightmare Dungeons cap out at? I think it was like level 100,
Uh huh.
maybe, and I was doing like level 50, so maybe halfway through. But I was using arguably the squishiest class in the game until this season. The sorcerer. So I'd never felt like I felt powerful, but at the same time, I felt like somebody could just sneeze on me. It was all about kind
Hitting
of
them first.
resource management, I think, is the
Hmm.
big or the word that I'll take with that. It's like all of your cooldowns and everything, like you have to hit this flow, and if you time something wrong, you were just getting fucking mashed,
Right.
which was uber annoying and then you get crowd controlled, and unless you have 5 different buttons to make you unstoppable or teleport you out of there to get out of there, you just stand there and watch your character die, and it's like, this is stupid. I hate this.
So I played Diablo 4 a little bit, not nearly as much as you, but I have sunk hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
And
Same.
we talked about this earlier that one of the funnest parts of Diablo 3 was that infamous cow level.
Yes. Yes.
Uh do we have it yet? Like is it in the
we
game? Like what's the deal?
we do not. It is confirmed in the game.
Okay.
It is confirmed in the game. There was some people delving deep into the Diablo code. Like, they have
Hmm.
found it. It's there. It's a thing. And they actually, over the course of the seasons, have found a couple artifacts or stuff that you can collect in certain areas, coincidentally killing cows, to collect these things to start to unlock the cow level. And as I was talking to them earlier, and if you guys don't know, there actually was a huge break in that recently where they've gotten about 3 steps in, and we feel like we're on the precipice of actually being able to find out where it is. So very exciting stuff going on with that right now.
So like when they're like dropping artifacts or whatever, or like pieces or whatever it may
Hmm.
be, does it say like a hint like this to the cow level, or like are they just
No, not to
assuming
the
that?
cow level. It just, we know that that's what it's associated with. And again, the data miners, like, we know that it's associated with it because in Hawazar over there, if you ever pay attention to the town, there is actually 4 cow statues next to this pond. And if you go read their little like flavor text, it'll give you hints about these items.
Yeah.
And then you go out and find them, and essentially they have found, if you go to there's 3 different areas because you need 3 different pieces to drop. One is found in, God, one is just Skogsglen, I think, and the other one you'll find in Hawazar and Dry Steppes, and then like Fractured Peaks and something else. Anyway, you have to go to an area, kill cows
Right.
up to potentially 666. I've heard some people getting it in the first 100 cows. I've heard of some people getting it in, taking them thousands of cows. But essentially, you have three different.
666. Of course they did.
Yes. And once you get to the cooldown on how all this works, so they find that you go kill cows in certain areas till you get one of these pieces to drop, and it can take several thousand.
Mhm.
Now, once you get one of those pieces to drop, another fun number, once one piece drops, you have to wait 666,666 seconds for you to be able to farm a second piece, allegedly.
I don't know how long that is. Do you know how long that is?
I do. The one thing I came prepared for. It is roughly about 7.7 days. So it sounds like once a week,
Uh-huh.
you will be able to, per account, get one of these to drop. At least that's the speculation right now. So what they're recommending is that you can actually create it, do it on your character, get one to drop, create a new character, because it doesn't matter whether you're level 1 or 100. You can go kill these cows and get these pieces, and they are all transferable in between. So that's what Rax is doing right now, is he's creating characters, getting all of this, getting the stamina potions and stuff and then that's the thing, that they're going around to random areas trying to figure it out. But anyway, once you get these artifacts, you have to go back to Hawazar. There's like this pond in the middle right there with these 4 cow statues. You have to take these 3 items, drop them to cleanse them in the like little pool, and then they'll be cleansed. Once you cleanse all 3, it'll drop a key, and then you take that key, and there's a special cellar up in the northeast side of Skogsglen that key will unlock. You go in there and you kill a cellar full of cows. Once you kill all the cows, they'll drop a stamina potion. And those that have played Diablo 2, I actually never played that one. Diablo 3 was my first experience. But in Diablo 2, for the cow level, once you killed the cow king, he dropped, and it was kind of a meme, like he would drop like 1,000 stamina potions. So it's kind of like that homage to the Diablo 2 stamina potion. So they've gotten to the point where they found that, but now they just don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And so that's where they've really been farming. A lot of people in the communities are very active in that right now, just trying to figure out kind of where this last piece is for the cow level, because it is there. We just don't know how to open it.
It's kind of perfect timing. We had a comment in chat from Torque1369 saying, would Schmitty ever be interested in getting a big group together to do a full Diablo 2 playthrough? The answer is no. He's 2 balls deep in Diablo 4 right now.
I am doing a Thorns Barb that I am thoroughly enjoying.
Yeah.
So thorny. My character is I'm so thorny.
That's not cliche at all.
I'm going to go play around in the PvP area and just beg people to spank me.
All right. Enough of this
right.
Diablo 4 dead game talk. Serious. Now we have the big topic of conversation. New World.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about Amaranth, but
I mean, that's coming on. She's a special guest later on the show.
Exactly. Yeah. If we can reach 1 million subscribers, we'll get Amaranth on here.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Special guest appearance. All right, so New World gone through. I will say a roller coaster of a lifespan.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's been out 2 years now. We've had so many like game-breaking bugs that are now fixed, so it's getting better. Had a couple seasons drop, bunch of events. Season 3 just released, Rise of the Angry Earth. And with that, I'll kind of give my take first, then I'll kind of see what's your reactions to Season 3 so far, right? So with that, a lot of things got introduced into Season 3. You got mounts. First light zone has been gone. Now it's the Elysian Wilds.
Last light.
Oh, last light, yes. But no, is that what it's still called? The storage unit.
I think it's called Last Light.
Yeah. So we got that all taken care of. We have the mounts gone. There's a new expedition. There's a new flail weapon. Like there's undergone a lot of changes. Now the big controversy, I guess, is that this was the first paid expansion,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yes.
my personal take is I have sunk almost 1,000 hours into the game, and I bought it once at the beginning. Okay, have sunk almost 1,000 hours of it. I've bought like some marks of fortune here and there, but
Right.
I've mainly played for free this entire time for thousands of hours of content. It wasn't a big deal to me to spend $30 to support the game to kind of keep getting more content. I
Mm-hmm.
actually like the content that's in the game right now.
And
What do you think? Like, what's your takes?
I'm gonna agree with you 100%. You know, if they're adding great content like that and they make it worth it, in my opinion, I have absolutely no problem throwing extra money to the company, the developers, for expansions and stuff like that. Mounts, I was telling you literally since day one, I'm like, oh my god, dude, this game needs fucking mounts, and it
Mm-hmm.
gives me something else to farm for, something else to kind of, and it's just fun to ride around on there. And kind of speaking of mounts, with the changes they also did do with Diablo, like I feel like mounts in both games we talked about tonight, huge wins in these games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do because we have talked about. My next question was, has mounts helped or hurt the game? But I think we're both in agreement that
Oh
it's
yeah,
helped the game.
I mean
I
anything like
Go on.
I don't know if there was any like cosmetics in the like season pass or anything like
Mhm.
that. That's been the one thing where it's like, well, unless I spend real like, money to get the coins or whatever, I'm really not going to have many options for skins on the mounts. And if that was a little more readily available for that like $30,
Uh huh.
and again, I haven't looked through the pass too much. I know there was like some like lion you get at the end of it.
Uh huh.
But like I wish there was a few more cosmetic options that way, or at least through the season pass gave you more coins through it. I
Right.
really wish they at least gave you enough coins to like repurchase the next season, the following season.
Yeah.
But
Do
I think
you?
wasn't that Apex that did that or something that you could like earn enough
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
season
Like,
pass. And I
yeah. If
loved that
you
that it
if
was
you
like
maxed out the battle pass, you gain enough in that you just keep buying the battle pass over and over again.
yeah, and then I would probably personally be encouraged to actually spend more money on it to like actually
I,
get the cosmetics then.
I agree.
You know,
Yeah,
so
I
I'd still
agree.
be spending the money anyway. I just feel like I would personally be getting more bang for my buck.
So with mounts,
Okay,
I it's kind of going off topic here. It's not on the agenda. This is off the cusp here.
we'll go
Um,
mudding. I'll allow it. We'll go a little off road.
so if you think of mounts in a video game or
Hmm.
an MMO, obviously WoW comes to mind because I think WoW does a great job with mount farming. They have
Yep.
so many different options, so many different things you get, so many
Oh yeah.
variations of it. Is that level of mount farming? Does that make sense in New
Oh,
World?
in well, I think in any game like that, any ARPG, MMORPG, really any RPG, I feel like would only benefit from that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to kind of go back to like Diablo for a second, Diablo 3, and reference this, where how many countless hours I spent farming for like pets
Okay.
and different stuff like that, where it'd be the same thing with mounts, where I was like, I would totally go farm one particular boss over and over and over again
Mm-hmm.
for a chance for like a specific mount to drop or mount skin or mount like trophy piece, anything. Like
Sure.
I'm a
Sure.
sucker for that stuff, and
Sure.
I think any game like that, any RPG would benefit greatly by having different options like that.
Yeah.
100%.
What and then we'll move on to some other questions that we got. What other what do you think would be because what I'm guessing they're gonna do, sorry, I'm like have like four different thoughts in my mind all at once.
Nah, go for it, man. I'm chilling.
Um
We've been.
what do you think? I'm trying to see how to word this so you can answer it. What do you think will be the next mount options? Because what I believe every season or maybe every other season will introduce like a new mount. So right now we have horses, wolves, and lions,
Hmm.
right? So maybe every season or maybe every other season or whatever, doing like now they might be able to do those what are those called? Those dragon looking things in Brimstone Sands that you find
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
hellmouths, the hellmouths. Like that would be a cool mount to have, or
Uh-huh.
even riding on the back of a gorilla or something from like the Elysian Wilds.
See, my
Like,
first reaction was like a crocodile, like a
yeah.
monitor lizard, or like something that's like, give me a fucking dinosaur.
Do you think they're gonna do that, or are they gonna
Uh,
keep it just as these three types of mounts?
I think I would be surprised if they didn't add at least one more different type of mount.
Yeah.
I in my opinion would be shocked if they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But
Just
what they
like
would
Octopi in
use,
chat said, I'd rather see more drops for house stuff. Have you ever ventured into the house crafting and creating?
uh, briefly.
Mhm.
I'm a very basic bitch. I have some very basic bitch house.
Just
I
just the
think I just
trophies and that's
basically
it.
a few. I don't even think trophies. I'm just like storage because literally every town is like I have like 2,000 in like literally every chest in town.
Yeah.
I need to just spend like a week crafting and clean all of that shit out because I'm
Yes.
just like I'll do this
Yes.
later. 2 years
Yes.
later, I'm like I'll do this
I'll
later.
just-
I'll do this later.
I
It's
feel like
fucking
every
stupid.
time we play the game, we're always like, God, I gotta spend a couple hours just going through this stuff. Like
Oh
every
yeah,
time we play.
and then we never do it.
We
I
don't.
never do it. It's never gonna happen. I just need to pay someone to go through my inventory for me, or I'm
Wow.
just gonna delete everything.
I've only got a couple of these items. So like my next topic here, I've only got a
Ooh,
couple.
artifacts.
Yes, I've only got a couple of them.
Okay.
But
All right.
you've
All
actually
right.
been through the grind of like leveling
Oh
them up.
yes, quite a
So
few
like,
of them.
is the artifact system how they implemented it into the game? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it tedious? Like what?
So it for people it can be tedious. Because there's normal and then there's fucking Schmitty, okay? So I had a blast, honestly, because sometimes you wait for these bosses, they spawn every 5 minutes or something like that.
Uh huh.
And there was just, I don't know, for myself personally, I always thought it was really cool to just be waiting in these areas with like 30 people just fucking around, all farming for the same thing.
Right.
So it is a little tedious, but at the same time, like I really kind of like that tedious. It's just
Mm-hmm.
brain on simmer and just farm for stuff. I've mentioned several times I'm an absolute menace when it comes to slot machine mechanics. One more pull,
Mm-hmm.
one more spin. You never know what you're gonna get that next one.
Yep. Yep.
So I love to just sit around and then like the community around those farms too. Like God, what was it? There was this like Gorilla King I had to farm down somewhere for it was for my Void Stalker. I was actually up in the mountains somewhere. And you have like all of these people sitting around. We're all typing in voice chat and we're jumping, doing all these stupid animations. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a great time, dude. I just think it's such a great sense of community doing those events that I personally like it. But I would also understand how some people would be like, this is boring. I'm just sitting here waiting to kill this guy that's going to take 10 seconds and then sit here for 5 minutes again. Where
Right.
for me, it's all about the thrill of the hunt. So for me,
Right.
it depends on kind of what side of that fence you sit on, whether I think you'd really enjoy that aspect or not, because it could drop the first time. You
Yeah.
could be there for 2 days. I know with there was this like earring or something. I was going Matt's Blessing up in Dry Sands when that came out or something, and I sat there. I think I farmed it 2 days straight on stream. I did it like 6 hours before that shit dropped, but then when it did, it was like that. Yeah!
Yeah.
And then it was like, see you guys, fuck you. I'm not gonna help you at all. Your healer's gone. I got what I needed.
Yeah. Yeah. Another comment too about the events in chat is the events that they do.
Hmm.
Like the Halloween event's about to come out, the Siege of Sulphur event, the Turkalon, the big turkey event. All of these events that they do are literally just like reskins of like the same thing, where you go to a fast travel point, you run to it, get a couple hits in, kill it, fast travel out somewhere, go to the next
Right.
place, do the same thing. Like what? Like what fun events, or like how can they switch that up? Because I feel like now us that have played it for multiple times now, each event is like the
Mhm.
same thing. Like
Most
how
most of
how
the
can they
events.
make the events more fun?
You remember the Legion event that they had, where you, I mean, what you had to go there and defeat like 3 stages of enemies to like
Yep,
fight this
the
boss.
waves. Yep.
That type of event, like that kind of seasonal or stuff event, I love that.
Yeah.
Going around and collecting wispy blossoms and fucking jerking off bees or wasps.
You
I
had to have.
didn't. I was just like,
The
eh, it's
springtime
not
event.
fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
and they've had a couple events like that, and it's just I've never really found those the most enjoyable. I get
Right.
bored really easy, where I would much rather see more of those world events where you have like kind of those big groups of enemies spawn and you have to kind of go through the
Mhm.
process for these chests. Now, and I know I've talked to you about this before, but the thing that pissed me off about, that Legion event is, and most of those you can do them like what, 3 times a day and
Yep.
that's it. It's
Yep.
like,
Yep.
dude, then what's my point to coming back here? It's the same thing with Destiny with like you could do one raid a week or something or like three. And it's like, well then once you do them,
Right. Well,
what's the point of me playing this game?
and people like us who don't stream till later at night, most people have already done the events throughout the day.
Well, then
S-
most of those like that, you don't really need a group to do them in, and I don't
yeah.
get a lot of groups like that when I'm in those world events, unless there's, maybe you get like a XP bonus or something like that.
Mhm.
But I think most people don't really. I don't get as many random party invites like that I would in like a game like Diablo 4,
Sure. Sure.
who you get like up to a 10% experience boost when you play with people and are near people. Where
Right.
I just don't feel like there's that incentive
Right.
in New World where, maybe they could add something like that where it's like, you know, um and maybe I don't think they do, but like in Diablo where you can drink these elixirs and stuff where it's like for every member in your group you get like, an extra 100 health. Maybe they
Right.
could have it where you group up or something like that where you could get like somebody could take an experience potion that someone could craft and just, make it pretty resource heavy, but like give them an incentive to do it or give them like a natural like weapon boost instead of like, yeah, they have those coins and stuff like that too. But I feel like if you
Right.
if you added to the system, because I have so many of those coins sitting around, I'm like, honestly, I don't care about half of them. But if you did a group incentive like that, I feel like that would be a really kind of cool move with that.
Yeah, speaking of group style like activities, I still think they've dropped the ball with town taverns. Like, how do you not have like mini games, like darts or cards or
Oh, dude, that'd be
dice or
cool.
like have it to where like you can actually build a, like get a stage and get people together and play in the tavern type. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
how are they not expanded on just making like taverns more like vibrant and alive?
yeah, like little mini games and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like just stuff fun to
That's
do. And you can have little
Actually, I never
tournaments
thought
and type
about that,
thing.
but that would be. I mean, just think of Phasmophobia. There's been times I've spent an hour just in that top little fucking nook
Uh huh.
playing rings.
Exactly. Like, how could you
Just
not have something like that? How could they? Why have they not built like the tavern life, like
It doesn't look like
of
New World.
towns,
Actually, yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call, Crit. I kind of was wondering about that. I think I still have it on New World, but maybe I should put it on the podcast stuff.
the podcast channel? Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
we're getting
Actually,
there.
what is?
We're getting there. So chill. This is kind of more of an opinion on my regard, because I've always been an advocate for New World. Yes, it's gone through its turmoil. It's gone through its down moments. Its low moments. But I've always enjoyed the game. I've always found it super fun. The events in it have been memorable to me. Like I've gotten into
Uh huh.
them. But one of the biggest things that I feel has kind of kept me around is the aesthetics of the game. Like I
Oh,
think it's
it's
beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's
Everything
like
from the open world to the expeditions, everything feels different,
Mhm.
vibrant, alive. The contrast, and as much as I talk shit on it, Tempest has got to be one of my favorite like aesthetic expeditions to run. I
Tempest.
just
Yeah,
I love Tempest Heart.
yeah, yeah. Same. Trying to think of all of the other ones, and Tempest I feel like has I want to say that's the craziest, like out there, like levels. If you look at like depths, if you look at the new one in Elysian Wilds, if you look at like Starstone, they all like they're not similar, but they're all like going through caverns, going
Yeah.
underground somewhere. Whereas like Tempest, like you're just out in like space or out in like like other dimensions. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. I
it's
just
just
I
a
love that
different
that
setting.
that red.
Hmm.
Like I love the vibe in there, man. It's got a really cool kind of tense
Mm-hmm.
aesthetic. Now, if we just need a good tank and a good healer, and we're good, I'll play it.
If you are on Castle of Steel and you are a tank or a healer, you could join literally the two greatest New World players and run expeditions all night.
Yeah, exactly. Every
We got
Tuesday
a
night I run
healer,
expeditions.
DPS. Come on, like
Yeah,
tank. Bring it on.
he's got the big D energy over there. Huge D energy.
Just huge, just swinging it back and forth.
Just waving it around, dude. Fucking windmilling that shit.
You know, speaking of expeditions, good sir,
Ooh,
every
good ones today.
every week on New World, they have two expeditions that are rotating for like the mutated levels, right? To get better loot and drop. You want to talk about what two of those are?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if I have to.
I mean, so this week, I was just looking at, so for those kind of getting into the expeditions, there is actually two really good ones out right now. Lazarus, which is ancient enemies. I think they are, what is it? Spear? I forget what they're weak to. But
Lazarus,
Ancients
ice,
is
ice.
ice. So, yep. Ancients are part of the mutated in Lazarus this week, and the other one is Garden of Genesis, which you will find Angry Earth. And so for Garden
Fire.
of Genesis, you will want your rubies, you will want your fire gems, your fire resistance on there, and then for the Lazarus, it looks like this week you will want to use which ones are those again for the
ice gem?
Yeah, I forget.
They're not Sapphire.
I don't
not
think
Sapphire.
They're Sapphire.
There's Sapphire Void.
We're
New World main, guys. We're New World mains.
100%. 100%.
We're just drawing a blank on what it is. It's not. I thought it was Sapphire. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So every week, we'll kind of give you a rundown of the expeditions that are mutated. Kind of give you a little bit of tidbits about them, a little bit of information to help you out with them. Again, Genesis and Lazarus are the expeditions now, and again, fire for Genesis, ice for Lazarus.
It's an aquamarine. You need aquamarines. Thank you.
There it is. But I'm gonna have to edit that in there so we know what we're talking about when I make a clip out of it.
We're super good at this game. 100%.
Well,
but I think we are gonna probably run some expeditions tonight, aren't we?
I mean, we're gonna get in there and we'll load in, see how many we can do for sure. So last part that we have for the podcast tonight, we always want to do community questions, you know? Yeah. And again, you can tag us on Twitter or X now it is. If you got at Schmitty32 or at Mr. J Gilbert. And you can tag us any questions that you have for the After Hours podcast. We'll talk about them on stream or in our Discords. You can at us or leave some comments there for any community questions that you may have. Now, we had a couple that I kind of pulled away. I don't know how much time you want to spend on all of them, but a couple that I had.
We got a few minutes.
Yeah.
They seem like some fun questions, so I kind of want to.
First question we had for you was this is from Voice23. And I'm gonna put this on you because she's been yelling at me about it for forever. When are we gonna start creating New World tutorials?
That's a good question. I think we just did.
I mean, now we are absolutely cracked.
I think we're. I think this is the great beginning of something. I think there's going to be a lot more tutorials. Well, as I talked before, I kind of want this to be a little bit of the State of the Union on New World. Where we definitely, have a good 10, 15-minute segment where we do run through kind of the weekly stuff and kind of what we're looking at. I'll be a little more prepared next week. I was just like, God damn it, I just want to get through this like setup. I'm going to get a new camera and then it'll be a lot smoother.
I mean, I think it's going good so far.
Oh, dude, I'm really well, and just knowing what you showed me how to do last night with the, it's just it's true. It works. But I'm like, dude, I actually even don't mind the simplicity of this setup right now. The way I'm seeing, like, I think your overlay is literally like your scene is the exact same as mine. And I'm totally cool with something like this too. So I'm still gonna get the webcam because hurt.
For same for sure.
But even if we do this, like now that I actually have done this and I know how this is gonna work, it's my anxiety sometimes gets the best of me, and I'm like, I just
Right.
want to see how this is gonna go, man. I could talk about something till I'm blue in the face, but until I get in there and fucking do it, it's all just words on a
Yeah,
page
until
or
you get balls deep into
like
something, you don't know how it's gonna go.
I just gotta just shove it in there and see what happens.
Exactly.
Makes me
Uh,
feel things.
next question from
Something's
Asterath.
happening. Something's happening.
Next question from Asterath.
Uh-huh.
What has
Uh-huh.
been, or what do you think is your game of the year so far? Now, if you don't have like a game of the
Ooh.
year, maybe you can talk about, the expansion of the year or sequel of the year, or like what do you think has been, the quote unquote highlight or game of the year so far?
Ah.
I guess while you're thinking about it, I looked after Asta posted this in the community Discord. I kind of looked up online to see
Mhm.
like what games are going to be nominated for like game of the year, what would technically
Yeah.
be nominated.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Baldur's
Mhm.
Gate 3, Starfield, Resident Evil 4 remake, and I'm like, "Oh sweet. All of the games that are nominated for game of the year, I haven't played a single one of them."
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm like, do I choose what I think is going to win, or one that I personally have experience in that I'm like, well, out of what I've played,
Yeah.
uh, because just by what I've read, and again, I've never played it, and this is just like what everyone says. Like, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is onto something. I've never personally played it.
Same.
For myself, um, I the first thing that comes to mind is the Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty DLC.
Oh,
I
I was going
haven't
to say
really
that was
gotten much into
expansion.
that, but like that,
Yeah.
and that's like
Yeah.
that's what my heart tells me. Like if I'm just going the first thing that comes to mind, I'm like, dude, like Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty is like that's what
I
I have
yeah.
noticed that not only did I get excited about, but it was not a disappointment. There wasn't a we're
No.
gonna fix this in a patch or this and that. Like it was like
Yeah.
yes, something that actually fucking works.
I definitely would give that like expansion of the year. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know if that
But as far
I
as
don't know if
game
it would
of the
be
year, I
right. I
just
don't know if it'd be in the running though for like game because it's already been out.
right,
Technical thing.
exactly. And so I don't, if I had to go with what probably should just by what I know, I would probably choose Baldur's Gate. Like that's just
Yep.
an amazing developer who came out with an
Yep.
amazing finished game with like no microtransactions. They're not trying to bleed you dry. Like they just there hasn't been a good legit game in a while. The other
Yeah.
one, and again, I've never played it, but did Tears of the Kingdom come out
Earlier in the year.
this year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That was
That
gonna
was
be the
also I
other
never played it.
one.
Yeah.
So again, never played them, but I'm like Baldur's Gate, Tears of the Kingdom. I think,
Mhm.
again, never played them personally, but would be my two top contenders for
Mhm.
game of the year.
Yep. Yep. Last two community questions I got. This one's also from Master Wrath. Uh,
Sausage.
damn it! Favorite pizza topping.
I was waiting for this one. Sausage.
Ah,
If I had to choose one, sausage.
yeah. See, I'm a meat lovers type of guy too. So you give
Oh,
me any
100%.
pizza
Yeah,
that's got
yeah,
meat on it, like pepperoni, sausage, Canadian bacon, like whatever, I'm good.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But if
Part
I had to
two,
choose one,
yeah.
sausage.
Part two question. We can both agree that pineapple doesn't belong on pizza,
No,
right?
pineapple. If you do that, you unfollow me right now. Get the fuck out. We are no longer friends.
Nobody does that.
There is no pineapple here.
Last question I got for you is actually posted in chat. And I'm
Ooh,
surprised this isn't what you talked about. We talked about it before. This wasn't what's on the mind, what's on your mind. It's from
okay,
Torque
okay.
1369
All right, all
and
right, all right.
thoughts on Twitch removing the band on simulcasting.
Oh, I do have opinions on this. No, don't hide the pineapple. Don't. Well, I have to go on follow. You stop it, Crit. Say that. What was the question one more time? I got
Your
distracted.
thoughts
People
on
yelling.
Twitch banning
Oh.
unbanning simulcasting.
I can speak for myself, but start watching out for me on YouTube chat. It's coming. It's
Uh-huh.
fucking coming.
Yep.
There's some things in the works, and now that Twitch lifted that ban, oh my god, dude, that's huge. Not yeah, I'm surprised you're still even here. Uh,
I I have toyed around with the idea of streaming on YouTube for a long time. And
right.
now that I can just go live on both, absolutely.
Well, yeah, and there's really no reason not to for anyone
Hmm.
trying to make it as a content creator. There is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't
Hmm.
simulcast. It's one where it's like I've thought about streaming on YouTube. A lot of people do. This
Yep.
is everyone wants to be a streamer and do the things, and it's like, am I going to have better luck here in a less saturated market? Do I go to Kick? Do I go to YouTube, Facebook? Um, and I think it's fucking great. Twitch has a new CEO. That seems like he actually is a gamer,
What is a
and
streamer too, right? Like
and yeah,
actually streams.
fun fact, Chad. I actually was reading this the other day. So the president and CEO of Twitch has a Twitch stream, and he actually like does music and stuff on there and does stuff. But he, the CEO recently applied for a Twitch partner, and you know what happened? Rejected. Reject. Get out of
Get
here.
him out of here.
Yeah, right. I thought that was funny. They're like, well, not even the president and CEO can get just automatically approved for partner.
I don't.
Didn't
So
have the
this,
didn't have the viewership. Didn't have the viewership.
yeah, this is a good question, and I don't know how that works. Do you know if YouTube does raids like how Twitch
I
does?
I don't think so.
Because yeah, I
I
don't know
don't
if
think
it's just
so.
like a see you later or if they can host somebody. I don't know if Twitch can do that, or not Twitch, if
No,
YouTube
and
can
like
do
the
that.
whole chat thing, uh like the monetization on YouTube, I've heard is
Yeah.
phenomenally
No,
better
they don't.
than Twitch.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other kind of streaming stuff like the chat and some of the other integrations that they have in it, like it's not even close. I've heard to what Twitch offers. So now that you can multi-platform stream,
Yep.
that's absolutely incredible, and I don't think there's any reason why
Not to.
anyone serious in the streaming space why they wouldn't take advantage of this.
Absolutely.
This
Absolutely.
was like the
110%.
big Twitch taboo. That was like one of the biggest no-nos ever.
Yeah.
And now they're just like,
100%.
no, it's cool. But I was reading an article just I had a lot of time to kill at the in-laws, Uh
Yeah.
but um they were talking about just how many big Twitch streamers have been leaving for YouTube, for
Hmm.
Kick, when they kind of got rid of the sub split for like
Yep.
partners and
Yep.
stuff like that. They're literally just bleeding
Right.
content creators right now. So this is the way that it's like
They can try to keep people.
we're trying to retain them on our
Yeah.
platform by giving
Yeah.
them, the opportunity to stream on multiple platforms
Yeah.
simultaneously. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to do a Twitch stream Tuesday, YouTube stream Wednesday, Thursday, Twitch Friday, you, both at the same time. And so
Yeah.
I think that's a way that it's going to um bring some of that back to Twitch, because think of the people who left for some of the big, doesn't isn't like, yeah, XQC and shit like that,
They're over on
like
Kick.
people who went
Yep.
over to Kick, like
Hmm.
so many big names that went over there. um Now that they can do that and Twitch, because I don't think
And
Kick
come
has
back.
any
Yeah.
restrictions, does it? I don't think so, no.
No.
I mean,
The
they do.
majority of Kick sites are just gambling sites anyway. It's
Yeah,
like that's a
unless you're that
huge.
Somali guy who's arrested in Japan, but that's a
Yeah.
story for another fucking day. But
Yeah.
I think it's a smart move. I think it's going to bring a lot of viewers back to the platform because of these people, and hopefully a little trickle down effect to the
Hmm.
maybe lesser known
Yeah.
people. I don't know who they are because we're obviously big deals, but
100%.
100%,
100%. Well, I think
100%.
like with Twitch though, Twitch is such. Twitch has, because it's been out the longest, it's been around, it's been the most user friendly, right? Twitch kind of
Hmm.
has that sense of familiarity, the like
Yeah.
sense of home, and it's like a
Yep.
lot of viewers don't want to go over to TikTok or Kick or YouTube or whatever because they're just such in the habit and routine of just opening up Twitch or Twitch like lives
Yeah.
notifications, and just how it operates, that it's not that they wouldn't follow somebody, they just don't want to. I don't want to say experience something new, but you know what I'm trying to
Right.
say. Like they don't want to kind of branch out because like I'm just comfortable where I'm at.
I think the live like integration and ways that the community and chat can like interact with the streamers on Twitch, like I just think there hasn't been anything to match that yet.
Yeah, same.
There hasn't been anything to compete with just the amount of things you can do to interact with the streamers, whether it's just having a chat or different extensions and this and that. Like, it's just a much more, I feel like, interactive platform for streamers and content creators with their community.
Right.
And yeah, I'm excited to over the next couple weeks get that software and start to putz with it, because I don't like things I don't know, and so I'm just like I get anxiety issues, and I'm just like I just want to get this set up, man. I just want to do this. But it's been something that I know both of us have talked about for a long time, and it's going to be exciting to take that next step. So y'all stay tuned for more After Hours podcast on YouTube here shortly.
Amen to that.
It's going to be fantastic.
Speaking of which, any final thoughts on the night before we jump into some New World?
I'm just ready to throw down some Healy rings and farm for some stuff, man.
There we go.
Get it in.
You guys, I want to thank, on behalf of Schmitty and myself, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, watching, and any questions that you may have submitted or posted. This is the first inaugural episode of the After Hours podcast, and we're shooting for it every Tuesday night, 9:00 p.m. Central Time, in Schmitty32's Discord, Mr. J. Gilbert's Discord. If you guys want to post any of your comments, questions, concerns, we will talk about them on chat or on air. And if you want to tag us in Twitter or X, any of your questions or anything like that, we will address as many as we can, time permitting, and on the next episode or in future episodes. So
exactly, yeah. But as he said, feel free to reach out to either one of us, and we'll answer your questions.
Yeah. But thank you for tuning in, you guys. We'll see you next week here on the After Hours podcast.